What's going on, NIRSA Network? It's Lamont Mayer Jr., your NIRSA Live host. And on the call today, I have two amazing NIRSA members. I'll let them introduce themselves, both of them in fairly new places. Now, is it new schools or just new roles?
New schools.
New schools and new roles. All right. So I'm looking forward to an amazing conversation with both Jasmine and Candice talking about the Black Caucus of NIRSA, and I'm looking forward to this amazing conversation. I reached out to them a while back, and it took a little while to get a response because I reached out I reached out on LinkedIn, y'all.
The way he was tracking us down could have been working for the FBI.
Listen, everywhere.
but when I got the response, I was so excited that y'all was willing to do this sit down, because one of my goals is to tell the story of NIRSA, and I got a little story that I'm going to get to later on why this call was so important to me. But let's start off with some introductions. Let's start off with you, Jasmine.
Awesome. Well, hey folks. New face to some, old face to others, but Jasmine Holmes, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Associate Athletic Director or Director of Recreation at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Officially been here, I think, 4 months as of this week, and just super excited to be taking this department in, amplifying the direction that we go in and making sure that we're continuing to be leaders, not only in Baltimore, not only in Maryland, but within NIRSA. And so thank you for having us on, Lamont. I'm looking forward to talking and sharing a little bit more.
Awesome. All right, Candice, what you got?
Okay. Oh, hey, y'all. For those who don't know me, my name is Candice Douglas. I am, as he said, in a new role, currently serving as the Associate Director of Facilities with Middle Tennessee State University Campus Recreation. I have been in this role exactly 3.5 weeks. So very, very new. Excited about imparting change at a new campus and growing this program here on campus, and then also, more involvement with the NIRSA and campus recreation.
Now, Candice, you don't know this, and I started to pull it out, but I didn't pull it out. But I got a video clip of Candice at the People of Color's social in Orlando.
Orlando.
Yes. Well, we're flexing, and Candice is in the back. She's keeping her, but you can tell she wanted to get loose on the flex. But hey, she kept it professional and kept it within a little box. But it's a neat little video that we have of you.
Look, Jasmine, at least it was Orlando and not Phoenix.
Amen to that.
Orlando, you probably could have pulled out. Phoenix, I'd have been like, if you don't put that up.
Look, we need to get back to a place where people ain't got cameras everywhere anyway.
That part.
All right, so let's get into this thing. All right, let's talk about the Black Caucus, and let's talk about the goals and the expectations of the Black Caucus. So now, as Black Caucus leaders, what are your primary goals, and what do you hope members experience when they join this type of community?
Yeah, so Candice and I think, are going into our third year of serving as co-leads for Black Community Caucus. And when we, were able to take over the reins of leading this group, we really wanted it to be a space of reflection, of conversation, of growth, and really whatever folks needed it to be. And so how can we continue to be creative in how we come together, particularly with the amount of folks that cover various regions and various parts of the country, and making sure that we're connecting in ways that help us take information back to our institutions, maybe help us grow as individuals and personally in our lives, and really just being a space where folks feel like they have an opportunity to connect and to build and to learn a little bit more about what NIRSA means to higher education, what it means to collegiate recreation.
Yeah, I think also it's a place where members of NIRSA, those professional, career-minded folks within NIRSA in our community can come together. They can pour into each other, celebrate each other's successes, discuss issues they're facing on their campuses. And that's a lot of what we do. We come to each other with our issues, with our concerns, and we workshop it together. And then, as Jasmine said, there's opportunities for growth as well. Like, What are we reading to help professionally develop ourselves or personally develop ourselves? Give us some ideas, giving each other ideas of ways to be better, not just for our positions, just for ourselves in general.
That's good, Kansas. I want to bounce off of that with another question. So what does success look like, or success within the Black Caucus look like, based off of those types of goals and expectations in terms of impact and engagement? What does success look like? What when y'all look over the year at the end of the year, when y'all look back, what are some of the things that y'all hoping to do that says this was a successful year within the caucus?
I think our community, um, and our network growing in strength, right? Our community ties are stronger. Um, you're hearing success stories from folks about how things are going on their campus. You're seeing folks move into their next career move, right? So we're helping them prepare for that next step, and taking that step up into associate director, assistant director, associate director, director roles, right? On their campuses, and they're getting that mentorship from folks that they've connected with within the caucus. Um, and then, you're relieving some stress, right? We've had a lot of folks just really talk about how important the caucus is for them when they're the only person that looks like them on their campus, and they've found that understanding and that sense of connection that they need within the space that is created as the
Yes.
Black Community Caucus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the two important things that Candace mentioned is one, the career minded individuals and them finding their next opportunity, and so those things may not be numbers that we track. It may not be easy for the rest of the association to see, but when we do our check-ins and we're like, hey, what good news do y'all have to share? And somebody says, hey, I was able to move to this role. Maybe it's a lateral move, but it's an opportunity for them to get closer to family because we've been talking about priorities, we've been talking about boundaries. And so, it's not always a title change or the pay change, but maybe it's just how do you stay connected in this field while also getting to closer to the things that are important to you. And so I think the second part of that is mentorship. And so, again, something that may not show up on paper, but were we able to build a few more connections? Were we able to bring a few more undergraduate students into the higher education realm, into the collegiate recreation realm? What does it look like for peer-to-peer mentorship? Were we able to just encourage each other and help each other maybe build some skills that we were lacking, or just kind of support and celebrate the successes that the members of the group are having?
Now it was mentioned being the only person that looked like myself on the site. Now that was me about 4.5 years ago. Shout out to Jack State University, the university that actually introduced me into NIRSA. But I was the only black individual on the pro staff, and I remember my very first conference was in Portland. And another huge shout out to Seneca Wilson, who the first night he said, "Hey, tomorrow we have the Black Caucus meetup. I want you there. I don't care what you do tonight. Make sure you're in that Black Caucus meetup." And I remember walking in the room and seeing a room full of professional individuals that looked like myself, different roles. Some was directors, some was associate directors. I was just a coordinator at the time, new to NIRSA, new to the field of collegiate recreation, because I came from marketing. And I remember, like, it's hard to explain the feeling of walking into that room and seeing that representation that I'm a year removed from even knowing that this field exists, and two, now I'm seeing people that look like myself that's thriving in the field. Now, and I remember one director from the Bahamas actually had the position open. I gave him my card and never heard
I did
anything from him.
too.
All right,
I still text her. She
I
put,
think she might have got more applications than anybody has ever seen.
man, I told y'all stop talking to her. Y'all didn't listen to me. That
but
job was supposed to be mine. I was ready. And look, now she up in Philly just chilling. Like, I was like, why would you leave the Bahamas? But
tell me why is intentional representation important in collegiate recreation and within the nursing spaces?
I think you kind of pointed it out, right? You were the only person that looked like you on your campus. And a lot of times when folks don't see themselves in these roles, they don't think that that's something that's attainable to them, right? So it's very intentional, and it has been throughout the NIRSA for as long as I've been a part of it, to highlight that amongst our community. That I mean, and then honestly, when you look at the history of NIRSA, where women were at one point in time not welcomed in, uh, it was very much whitewashed. So much so to the point that a conference was created specifically to bring it back to the HBCUs and get that type of involvement back into NERSA, right? So um, when you don't see yourself in these roles, you don't aspire to those roles. Like, okay, this is something I'm doing for right now, but when I'm really ready to move up and progress, I'm probably going to look outside the field. So when you have someone that looks like you that you can connect to, yeah, it helps keeps the engagement of the community in NERSA and help to keep NERSA grow.
To Candace's point, right? We got to remember like the history of NERSA, how it was founded, who it was founded by, and then remember that this is not just a space that we exist in, but a space that we created.
Yes.
And as Black members of NERSA, really making sure that we continue to have leadership opportunities, that we continue to make impact, that we continue to be a part of the direction that NERSA goes. And so I think ERSL is an opportunity to do that, to bring in some of the best minds, some of the best Black minds within higher education, within collegiate recreation, within NERSA, all in one space and at an HBCU to say, hey,
Yeah.
we're still here. We're still cultivating. We're still innovating. We're still educating. And we're going to continue to be part of this organization, part of this association, to make sure that one, it doesn't forget its history, but then two, it continues to move forward in a way that is inclusive of people and places that have been marginalized and excluded. And so we're not going to forget that it was founded by Black people. We're not going to forget about the commitment that we have to HBCUs. We're not going to forget about the women that are involved in NERSA, and really making sure that all of those things, all of those identities are represented in the Black Community Caucus so we can continue to make those touch points throughout the organization.
Oh,
Absolutely.
you said something that should be on a T-shirt right there. It's not just a space that we. Come on, say it again. Say it again, Jasmine.
And when I'm flowing, I don't remember
You
what
was
comes
in
out.
there.
You was in
I'm
it.
talking.
I
I'm
think
what you
talking.
said.
In there. You was in there.
It's not just a place that we exist; it's a place
Yes.
that we created,
Yes,
and
that's
that's all
amazing
true.
phrase.
That's all
Amazing
true.
phrase. So let me ask this. Let me ask this about you two as individuals. So has your identity shaped your journey within the field any type of way? Has it?
A little bit, right? So when I am seeking out mentors, they're typically people who look like me, women who have made it to those leadership positions, directors, because they've had to navigate some of the same issues and conflicts that I have. Right? They've had to overcome those same uh, speed bumps on that road to progress that I could be facing, and they are groundbreakers in that. And so, why not hear their story so that I can maneuver better on my own, right?
Yeah, and I would say a lot of it. I think every space I walk into very strongly as a Black woman, and so whether or not I have community in that space, working at PWIs for all of my career, I walk in knowing I bring something that may feel different to depending on who's in the room. And I mean that to as of others. Like I feel very confident in who I am and when I walk in. And so I think who I am has very much had an impact on how I see myself in spaces, on how I show up in spaces, and then also how I navigate those spaces. And so, what does it mean to be a leader? What does it mean to maybe sit back and take some notes of folks that I aspire to be like or aspire to be in their positions one day, and just being really humble when it comes to what it means to be one of the few, right? What it means to be somebody who can help bring others up. And I think that that I own that, and that I'm really proud of that in the ways that I've done that so far in my career.
Amazing conversation, like things like this, and I know sometimes it can feel uncomfortable having conversations like this, but these are much needed conversations because we have a lot of early career professionals who, like you said, are trying to navigate the same field, the same hurdles that we have all probably navigated before, and it's important to have those mentors in our lives and say, hey, although the times have changed rapidly, there's still some things that we got to jump over. There's still some doors that has to be open, some doors that have to be knocked down. So while it looks a whole lot different from what it may look like 20 years ago, we still have the things that we have to, deal with now. So it is important to have these types of intimate conversations, these types of intimate settings that people can get involved with and understand that you don't have to navigate this on your own. There are people that look like you and people who don't look like you who support the cause of helping you get to the next place in your professional career. I thank y'all for joining me today to have this conversation. So tell me, how can someone who's never been to a caucus meeting, what can they expect coming into that first caucus meeting?
Uh,
Look, we might have to keep that on the wrap. So,
it is a very it's a safe space. You
Yeah,
can be
okay.
you in that space. I'll say that. You can absolutely be you. There is no judgment. Um, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna build each other up. We're gonna discuss things. We're gonna have a kiki here or there. There's lots of laughter that takes place. Um, and just like any other NIRSA event, we family. So we gonna communicate like family. We gonna address you and influence, not influence you. What's the word I'm looking for, Jasmine? Um,
I was gonna say we about to gather people up, but I didn't know where he was
Thank you. We're
going.
gonna gather you up like family if you need to be gathered, or we're gonna motivate you like family if that's what you're looking for. So it's it is a time to be had, and it spans generations, right? It's those early career professionals or graduate assistants that are really interested in continuing in this field, right? And then you've also got our seasoned professionals, our seasoned NIRSA members who done been, they're in retirement, but they're still on there every day pouring into that next generation of NIRSA leaders within our community. So you've got the gamut of what you can find in that room and in that space.
Yeah, I think it's just authentic to who we are as Black folks. Like we come into the space. Candace said, we're still doing the work. It's no surprise, the work is going to get done when you got Black people involved. So there is always work that's going to be had, and at the end of the day we always going to have laughs, because that's how we navigate our existence as Black Americans. And so I think we're going to have conversations about what we can do better, how we can make impact, how we can influence, and then we're also just we're gonna have fun, because there's it's hard to do this work without being able to laugh at yourself and being able to laugh at situations. And so we recognize that, and we just want to make sure that when folks come in this space, that titles in that space don't matter. We're there as a community. We're there to keep each other accountable, and we're there to celebrate each other.
Look, and to comfort each other. If it's a space you need to come in and get stuff off your chest, shed a tear here or there, that's acceptable too. So it's whatever that space needs to be for you in that moment is what we make it.
Hey, listen, hey, look, we do what we do well. We have good time while we doing it,
Mhm.
and we look good while we doing it too. I'm gonna throw that out there too. All right, look, so this is y'all's time right here, coming down to the end of this thing. Let us know when the next caucus meeting is. If there's, and I know y'all are the leaders, so y'all have certain roles of getting this together and organizing it. But if there's any other like positions y'all may be looking for people to engage and get involved and have a working piece of this, if y'all have all of that, let us know right now, and the stage is yours.
Thanks for the toss there. Our next community caucus is going to be December 18th. at 1:30 Eastern time. So you'll have to do the math to make that make sense for you. But we invite everybody to join. There is the link on the NIRSA webpage. And the bigger the community, the better. Also a great opportunity for you to meet some folks. Maybe if you're new to collegiate recreation, or if you're a seasoned professional, we want you to come back. We want you to pour back into the group, and we want you to make sure that you know that you're still supported, particularly those mid-career professionals. And if you're interested, helping organize some things for annual conference next year, we're definitely looking for some volunteers. So feel free to reach out to Candice or myself to help with that planning. But I'll pass it to Candice in case she has anything to add.
Just going to touch base. Yes, the 18th is our next meeting. But if that date and time doesn't work for you, our meetings are typically the third Thursday of every month at that 1:30 Eastern time frame. So try to build it into your schedule to be present. What we typically have done the last few years is that last meeting of the academic year, that May meeting, we chit chat with everybody and try to figure out a time frame that works. If we need to push it back, push it up, move it back, whatever we need to do, and plans for the next year. So we'll hope to see everybody in the room on December 18th for an end of semester wrap up celebration, kumbaya woosah moment before we head out for that winter break.
Absolutely amazing, ladies. Again, thank y'all so much, not just for the work that y'all are doing within the caucus, but for the work that y'all are doing within NIRSA. And I know the impact that y'all are having on y'all sites. I hope this is not the last time that we get a chance to sit down and talk about the impact that y'all are having on our association. Thank y'all so much. And until next time, NIRSA Live Host is out. Candice, Jasmine, thank y'all.
Thank you for having me.